You're driving your automatic wrong, and you don't even know it. Think driving an automatic is foolproof? Think again. Sure, they're easier than manuals. But what if I told you that one small mistake you make every day is quietly destroying your car's transmission and your wallet? Yep, most drivers are making this mistake right now. And the worst part? It feels totally harmless. But before we get to the number one error, let's talk about some habits that seem fine but are wrecking your car over time. Resting your hand on the gear lever. Let's start with something innocent. Just resting your hand on the shifter. Seems harmless, right? You're cruising, one hand on the wheel, the other on the gear stick like you're starring in a car commercial. But here's the deal. That small pressure wears out the shift linkage and internal transmission components. Automatic shifters aren't designed to carry load. Over time, this habit leads to loose shifting and long-term internal damage. Best move? Keep both hands on the wheel. Touch the shifter only when you're shifting. Driving with a nearly empty tank. Ever ride around with the fuel gauge dancing on empty? You're not just flirting with a roadside breakdown, you're baking your fuel pump alive. That pump sits inside the tank and uses fuel to stay cool. Let the tank get too low too often, the pump overheats. And a new one isn't cheap. Worse, low fuel stirs up sediment and debris that's settled at the bottom of your tank. That junk gets sucked into your fuel lines and clogs the filter, causing poor engine performance and reduced lifespan. Pro tip: never go below a quarter tank. Ignoring dashboard warning lights. When a warning light comes on, do you check it or ignore it like a snooze alarm? Big mistake. Some of those lights mean serious business, like your transmission overheating, your oil pressure dropping, or a check engine alert pointing to deeper issues. Ignore them long enough, and you're looking at thousands in repairs. Modern cars talk to you. You just have to listen. Revving the engine. When you're stuck. Picture this. You're stuck in snow or mud. You mash the gas, hoping to spin your way free. Bad move. All that revving creates excessive heat and friction, which burns up your transmission. Instead, gently rock the car between drive and reverse, or toss some traction aids under your tires, sand, salt, or even your floor mats. Save your transmission. Stay calm and work smart. Shifting to neutral. While coasting. Think coasting downhill in neutral saves fuel? Not anymore. Modern automatics are designed to reduce fuel flow automatically while decelerating in gear. Coasting in neutral doesn't help. It actually makes things worse. You lose engine braking, rely entirely on your brakes, which overheat, and reduce your control. If you need to accelerate quickly to avoid a hazard, shifting back to drive takes precious seconds. So, forget the myth. Let the car do what it's built to do, and leave it in gear. Keeping the car in drive at stoplights. Waiting at a red light with your car in drive? It feels easier, but it's hard on your torque converter, which stays engaged while you sit there. That creates heat buildup in the transmission, especially if you're stuck in traffic. Over time, that heat weakens the fluid and wears down internal components faster than you think. If you're sitting for more than 30 seconds, shift to neutral. It gives your transmission a break and helps it last longer. Letting the car idle in drive too long. Similar to red lights, if you're idling in drive for long periods, like in drive-thrus or during school pickups, you're generating unnecessary heat. Yes, your cooling system helps, but the longer you idle in gear, the more wear builds up. If you're not moving for more than a couple minutes, shift to neutral or park. Or better yet, turn off the engine if you're waiting a while. Not using the handbrake when parked. Do you skip the handbrake and just rely on P when you park? That's a classic mistake. When you park on a slope and don't use the handbrake, you're putting all the pressure on a tiny internal component called the parking pawl. It's not built to hold the entire weight of your car. Eventually, it wears out, or worse, it snaps. And if that happens, your car could roll away. Use the handbrake, every time, even on flat ground. It's a small step that makes a big difference. Shifting into park before fully stopping. This one's a silent killer, and it's more common than you'd think. You pull into a parking spot, the car's still creeping forward, and without thinking, you slam it into park. Sounds harmless, right? Wrong. Inside your transmission is a small metal piece called the parking pawl. Its job is to lock the transmission and stop the wheels from moving when the car is fully stationary. But if the car's still rolling even slightly and you force it into park, you're slamming that metal pin into spinning gears. Over time, this can bend or even snap the pawl, and once it's broken, your car won't stay parked. It's a risky move with expensive consequences. Always come to a complete stop before shifting into park. 1 second of patience can save you thousands. Switching between drive and reverse without stopping. You're in a hurry. You back out of a spot and shift straight from reverse to drive while the car's still moving. Big mistake. This sudden shift creates a violent clash between rotating gears and clutches inside your transmission. It's like asking your car to sprint forward and backward at the same time. You may not notice damage right away, but keep doing it, and over time, you'll wear down the clutch packs and gear teeth that keep your transmission smooth. Whether it's a new car or one with 200,000 miles, always let the car come to a full stop before switching directions. Accelerating. Too hard. From a stop. We get it. You like the feeling of launching hard off the line. But those sudden takeoffs put your engine, transmission, and suspension under major stress. The mounts, holding everything together, start to weaken. Gear mechanisms inside your transmission wear out faster. Suspension components absorb more shock than they should. If you do this often, especially in traffic or at every green light, you're shaving years off your car's life. Smooth acceleration is not only better for your transmission, it's also better for your fuel economy. Drive smart, not aggressive. Turning off the car before it's in park. Some cars won't even let you turn off the ignition unless the car's in park, but not all. If you shut off the engine while still in gear, or while it's in reverse, you're locking up the transmission in the wrong position. Over time, this can jam your shifter, damage internal locks, or throw off the software in modern vehicles that rely on sensors to know what gear you're in. So always double check. Park first, then power off. Neglecting transmission fluid changes. This one's simple, but critical. Some manufacturers claim their transmission fluid lasts forever. That's marketing. In real life, your transmission fluid breaks down over time due to heat and friction. It loses its ability to lubricate, cool, and protect internal parts. If you're never changing it, you're running your car on borrowed time. The smart move? Change your transmission fluid every 50,000 miles. Check your owner's manual for specifics, but don't ignore it completely. Your transmission is one of the most expensive components in your car, so don't skip the cheap maintenance that keeps it alive. Ignoring cold weather warm-up. In freezing conditions, your transmission fluid thickens up like syrup. If you jump in, start the car, and immediately hit the road, you're forcing the transmission to work before it's ready. Cold, sluggish fluid doesn't circulate properly, and internal components suffer from poor lubrication. Just give it a minute or two to idle and warm up, especially on icy mornings. This small pause can dramatically improve performance and reduce wear. Using the wrong transmission fluid. Not all transmission fluids are created equal. Each vehicle has a specific type and grade it needs. Using the wrong one, even if it seems similar, can throw off your shift patterns, damage clutch plates, or cause overheating. Always double-check your owner's manual. And if you're topping off or flushing the system, make sure you're using exactly what's recommended. Towing more than your car can handle. Pulling a trailer, boat, or another vehicle. You better know your towing capacity. Too much weight creates intense strain on your transmission. It overheats, the fluid breaks down, and before long, you've got slipping gears and burnt internals. If your car isn't equipped with a transmission cooler, even moderate towing can do damage over time. So if you plan to tow, get the right gear and stay within the manufacturer's limit. So, what's the biggest error people make with their automatic cars? It's a mix of habits that seem small, but stack up fast. From slamming into park too early, to skipping fluid changes, to revving like it's a race, these little actions can quietly turn into big repair bills. But now, you know what to avoid. Treat your automatic transmission with care, and it'll treat you to years of smooth driving. If you learned something new today, smash that like button. It helps more drivers avoid these mistakes. Got a tip or question? Drop it in the comments. I always check in and love hearing what's working for you. And if you want more practical, real-world car advice that actually helps, hit that subscribe button and stick with us. Drive smart, drive safe, and never stop learning. Catch you in the next one.